Well, hello there, my dear skeptics, optimists, theorists, and especially economists. You're probably expecting a presentation, spreadsheets, statistics, and graphs. But no, this isn't a presentation. This is a MMM explained on your fingers. Because unlike all those suit-wearing financiers, I've always explained things simply: no IPOs, no KPIs, and none of those other cryptic terms. I'm going to explain how our system works in plain language. No lies, no sugarcoating, no promises. And not to make you like me. After all, I'm not the dollar nobody likes everyone. So find a quiet place, turn on your brain, put your phone aside, and do at least one useful thing for yourself today. You'll either understand or you'll go back to your old life and return to the bank for that so-called high level of service. The MMM system is not a business, not a startup, not a fund, and not a crypto project. It's an internal economy based on agreements. That's it. It's like in the old days when people exchanged shells or pearls with each other or traded them for other goods. It's the same with MMM tickets, except their value keeps increasing. In MMM, there are no intermediaries, no owner, no tax authorities, no bankers. There is only the agreement of participants with the system's rules and with each other. One person buys tickets because they know they'll be worth more tomorrow. Another sells because they need money. A third buys and freezes them. That's it. This is a system. And there are no magic buttons. It's just like real life. When there's demand, the tickets go up in price because they're limited. When the number of participants grows, demand for tickets increases, and as a result, the system thrives. You control the rate, you are the system. There's only one rule. If you're in the system works. If you leave, the system doesn't notice you. In MMM, no one clings to anyone, and no one puts pressure on anyone. You can participate if you can't well, that just means you're not ready. Why does MMM work? It's very simple. It works because of you. We didn't bribe anyone, and we didn't discover any gold deposits. We all just agreed to play by the same rules. Money is a social agreement. A piece of paper only becomes money when everyone agrees to believe in it. Give a shopkeeper a piece of paper that says Bank of Russia note, and he'll give you bread. Why? Because he, just like you, believes that it's money. In the MMM system, such pieces of paper are called tickets. Only we've also agreed that the value of our tickets keeps rising. If you want, sell your tickets quickly. Or, if you prefer, wait for a higher price and hold on to your tickets. Some people want an extra bonus, so they invite friends and acquaintances. Some join, others leave. But the system is alive, like an organism. People participate, and the organism lives. As long as it lives, the value keeps rising. It's all simple. And here's the question: why does MMM last a long time, but other pyramids don't? Well, it's because the idea here is about real people. There are no fancy promises, everything is based on facts, and the process is managed so that not everyone sells their tickets at the same time. And honestly, I could talk about the system for a long time. Come, register, and you find out everything for yourself. And by the way, the banking system is also a pyramid. It's just that they don't talk about it there, right? They tell you, give us your money at 18% per year, but if you withdraw early, you get nothing. But with MMM, everything is clear. The rate goes up. If you want sell, if you want hold, everything is transparent and fair, and that's why it works. Now, the main question, how do you make the most money in MMM? It's all very simple. Participate more actively in the system's life. Here, it's not the one who just watches or waits until it seems reliable who wants money. It's not the one who writes in the comments, this is a scam. My neighbor lost his car like this. And of course, not the one who thinks it's already too late to start. The ones who will earn are those who buy a lot of tickets, hold on to them, and don't sell them off. Only sells when necessary, just enough to get by. Build the structure and receive the percentage from it. In particular, carries out organizational and explanatory work, and furthermore assists with advertising so that others can learn about MMM. For example, you bought tickets for 10,000 in MMM 25, right? A month later, the rate increased by 16%. Now it's 11,600. Sell or you can keep holding on. Now imagine you bought high-yield tickets for 3 months and their price doubled. You invited a friend and got another 10% from his tickets. You became a desiatnik and received another 5% from your group of 10 and so on. Everything is in your hands. In other words, you get all the rewards when you support the system, not just by dipping your toe in. And now you don't have 10,000, but 110. Want to just sit and wait? Well, go ahead and sit. No one's forcing you. There are no bosses here to give you permission. There are no bankers here to approve anything. There are only the buy, sell, and invite buttons. You're an adult and you decide for yourself what to do. Live as usual, watching everyone else, or act independently. I was there in 94 during the first MMM and in 2011. I saw a lot of people, and do you know who ended up making it? Not the smartest, not the richest, but the fastest and most decisive. How is that possible? Here's the story. I had an acquaintance in MMM, just an ordinary programmer. He bought tickets for 10,000. He waited a month, checked, and it had become 12. He smiled and decided to take action. He then became a foreman. He had about 150 people in his structure, and his 10,000 grew by at least 50 times. And do you know what he once wrote to me? Sergey, for the first time in my life, I realized that I can earn money without kissing up to the boss. Do you understand? That's the kind of story MMM lives for. Now, let's talk about freezing high-yield tickets. Look, you have two options. The first is to buy regular tickets, which you can sell in a month. They grow at the standard rate. The second option is to buy high-yield tickets, which are frozen for 3 months or more, and their returns can be several times higher. What does it mean that the tickets are frozen? You can't sell them before the deadline. In other words, you can't change your mind or backtrack. That's it, you're out of the game until the freeze period ends. But then you sell them for multiple profit. The system rewards you for your patience. You weren't greedy, you didn't panic, you didn't fuss, and so you got more. A bank deposit is like a pickled cucumber with dill. But the super profits in MMM are like red caviar. You put a cucumber in a jar, leave it for half a year, open it, and take out red caviar. But seriously, the super profits help the whole system reduce pressure on the exchange rate, stabilize growth, and show that you're not a speculator, but a participant. Stability begins with discipline. That's the foundation. That's the whole secret. Now let's talk about the structure. The structure in MMM is the people you invited and who registered using your referral number. Of course, you can participate on your own, no problem. But if you truly understand what MMM is, tell everyone about it. Let them know too. You'll help the system grow and also earn extra on top. MMM will give you a 10% bonus when your referral buys tickets. You can even get extra for achieving the status of Tonic. It's all simple. If you have 8 to 10 people, you're already a Tonic. Well done. You help the people in your group of 10 and you get another 5% from the turnover of your entire 10. If you already have your own 10x, then congratulations, you're now a Sotnik. Here's another 3% from your 100 on top of your 10. If you've gathered 100 under you, you're now 1,000 Nick. You can write a book called How I Built a Financial System While Sitting in My Kitchen. 1,000 Nick gets an additional 1% from the entire 1,000, except for those parts where the 5 and 3% apply. There may be more bonuses. I'll decide as we go along whom to reward and for what kind of activity. Bonuses are the system's way of thanking you for your contribution to its development, promotion, and care. Everything is fair. You give your time, you get paid. If someone joins a group of 10, they get paid too. This isn't about buying 100,000 worth of goods to confirm your status as Bronze Director of the Month. No one is forcing you to attend webinars, demanding double turnover on your left leg or anything like that. And if you didn't do anything, that's fine too, but you didn't earn anything. But the main thing is you're not obligated. No one is dragging you in. But if you know how and you do it, the system will reward you. So why is the rate going up? What's the magic? I've already said it. It all depends on just one thing, people. There are more and more people. They buy tickets. They talk about MMM. That's it. The ticket rate is a reflection of your activity. The more tickets are bought, the higher the rate and the more reliable the system. The more tickets are frozen, the less selling pressure there is, which also means the rate goes up. That's all there is to it. There are no other reasons. But this isn't like stocks on the exchange where everyone sells everything and the market crashes. And it's not a meme coin that skyrocketed just because Elon Musk winked on Twitter. Everything is logical. If there's demand, there will be supply. No tricks. You buy, the rate goes up. You freeze, the rate stays stable. You invite someone, the rate rises. You're not just a participant. You're part of the mechanism. This is real economics alive, without monopolies, without exchanges or manipulation. Let's move on. We've reached the most interesting question. How much can you earn here? The answer, it depends on you. As I've already said, MMM makes no promises, no guarantees. There are only terms and agreements between participants. Everything is built on people. Everything is in your hands. If you want, sell your tickets in a month, or if you prefer, hold on to them for a year or two, and that's already hundreds of %. You can make money or you can lose it all. If you live by the principle of heard something, ran off, sold, then you'll only get pennies. It's just like in real life. One person planted potatoes, but couldn't wait, dug them up and ate them. And in the end, he was left with nothing. Another person waited for the season and ended up with bags full of harvest. That's it. It's a matter of patience and choice. Look, you invested 10,000 and in a month it became 11,600. You can withdraw it or you can freeze it. If you freeze it, it becomes about 23,000. If you invite someone, you get bonuses. And once you become a foreman, you can already afford a restaurant. No one is stopping you. No one is forcing you. If you're afraid, go to Sberbank. If you get it, welcome aboard. Well, I think that's enough philosophy. Let's get down to business. If you decide to participate, buy tickets on the website. The starting price is 100 rubles per ticket. The rate is growing by 16% per month. For now, later, the rate will be based on the system's activity. And as you already know, there are no guarantees, no promises. The main condition is that newcomers can only buy tickets for a maximum of 1 month. You can't sell them before a month is up. Let me explain. This is to prevent scalping, panic, and quick flips. Are you a participant? Then participate. If you're a speculator who buys in the morning and sells in the evening, that's not for us. We stand for the stability of the system. At the same time, you'll find out over the month how everything works. After that, do whatever you want. Sell, keep holding, place for 3 months or more, freeze them as high yield. And then, of course, the interest rates are given much fatter. It's all simple. You can buy with fiat or with cryptocurrency. Yeah, I think you can use pretty much anything now. Once you've bought in and see the tickets in your personal account, that's it, you're in the system. The rate starts to go up. The rate is the same for everyone. There are no personal promotions, sales, or any kind of discounts. So figure it out for yourself. And while you're figuring it out, remember, the earlier you buy a ticket, the better the rate. All right, moving on. About MMM, we are not a young startup. MMM is a well-known, long-standing story. In 1994, I created a system that shook the country. People didn't just make money, they experienced the taste of financial freedom. Lines, cash desk, tickets, everything was going well. Yes, but there were also weak points. There was a lot of cash, right, which was transported in Kamaz trucks, all stored in one place by hand, without protection, without modern technology or banks. Tickets were never frozen. You could always sell them. And what do you think? Did the government tolerate this for long? Of course not. They just came and shut everything down without a trial, without any explanation, because we had become too big and independent. And in 2011, I launched MMM online again, became wiser, and the system worked again, paid out, and kept developing. But there were mistakes there too. The ticket yields were too high, excessively so. The rate was growing not by the day, but by the hour. People didn't have time to figure out what to do. Of course, they tried to cut me off from the process however they could, hoping I would come to my senses. I guess they didn't like that people were getting money and becoming freer. Well, now it's 2025, and I've taken everything into account that I possibly could. There's an invulnerable website, a secure personal account, a smooth ticket growth rate, and internal control over the system's balance. There are no more fiat warehouses. Everything is digital now, blockchain, cryptocurrency, and much more. There was time to think things over. Those who don't learn from their mistakes are doomed to repeat them. But those who do build a new system. So, welcome. Now then, about the bank, our own bank. When there are a lot of people with tickets, they become like a living organism. And it needs its own bloodstream, its own circulatory system. That's why we introduced a people's system of mutual settlements. It's not like a bank in the traditional sense, with ATMs and lines for tickets. We have a decentralized financial system, which is needed for the movement and safety of participants' own funds. And the participants are like branches, just like a bank has. The system has its own ticket exchange with a payment gateway, independent and with its own rules. Well, I think it's clear why. So as not to depend on banks, payment systems, or regulators. Everything else you need is inside. Ticket purchases, asset transfers, withdrawals, exchanges between participants, structured display, chats, and tech support. And I'll be online 24/7. If anything comes up, just write to me. Now, the skeptic's favorite question. What if everything collapses? Well, let's be honest. What if a brick falls on your head or the dollar crashes? The bank might freeze your account, your wife might leave. These things happen. And actually, they happen even more often. The system will keep working as long as people participate in it. And the rate will grow if we're all involved. And not because someone promised us or it's written in a contract, but because people themselves agreed to it. Real, living, genuinely interested people. And if all you care about is when everything will collapse, then I have a counter question. When will you actually do something yourself? When will you start? When will you register, make your own contribution? And what are you losing? Sitting on a salary, counting expenses, comparing prices in stores, being afraid of inflation and utility bills. I'll answer all your questions right away. Everything around has already collapsed. You just haven't noticed it yet. In MMM, everything is simple. Yes, as long as you participate, freeze your tickets, invite others, the system lives, grows, and pays everyone. MMM is not a game of blocks. It doesn't collapse like a tower. It's a living organism. It can die if you don't feed it. And the only way to feed it is through your participation. So let's sum it up. You ask, what makes MMM better than the rest? Here's my answer. We're not better, we're different. We don't lie. No one promises turnkey investments or guaranteed returns from trading on the stock exchange. We don't have any illusions like those investment projects. There are no intermediary banks that keep your money on trust and then shut down overnight. There are no bosses, no one forces you, commands you, or fines you for being late. There's only one thing results from personal involvement. Tangible and material. That's it. Well, and a lot of other interesting things too. I already told you about the blockchain, the personal account, everything decentralized and done smartly. There are also limited quotas for buying tickets. You can't just dump your entire stash on us at once and cause wild swings. Everything is measured out step by step. There's an internal exchange, internal transactions, and our own financial control. And no one will block you or ask for your passport 5 times. And I think most importantly, there's experience, understanding, and a love of freedom. And there's each one of you. Well, that's it. I've explained the basics in simple terms. If you didn't get it, watch again or register and you'll understand as you go. Or you can choose not to participate. That's also an option. Either you take part or you just watch. There's no third option. Just don't regret later that you missed your chance. And to everyone who gets it, welcome to MMM without bosses, without a complaints book. It's just you, the system, and its functionality. Everyone gets paid. We can do a lot. We are MMM.